I now give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Ministar Селаковиќ, Minister of Justice and Public Administration of Serbia, to take the floor. And I apologize for getting his name wrong when I spoke earlier.
Thank you. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Security Council, let me begin my statement by expressing my satisfaction over the possibility presented to me to participate in the proceedings of this august body. At the outset, I would like to thank the presidents and the prosecutors of the two tribunals and of the International Residual Mechanism for presenting their reports. Mr. President, Excellencies, the Republic of Serbia has rendered continued and undivided importance to cooperation with the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. No doubt, it yielded significant results confirmed also in the last report of the President and the Chief Prosecutor of the ICTY. In July 2011, my country completed the cooperation with respect to all indictees whose transfer it had been requested by the Tribunal. We note that the Prosecutor and the President of the ICTY assessed as positive the results that the Republic of Serbia has achieved in the cooperation with the ICTY. They pointed out that there were no outstanding and unmet assistance requests, that all summons had been served in time, that ICTY orders had been carried out in a timely fashion, and that witnesses had attended the tribunal without delay and difficulties. The Republic of Serbia also showed full commitment to cooperation in the field of access to documentation, archives and witnesses, and refused no access request of either the ICTY prosecutor or defense teams. All witnesses for whom waivers had been requested were granted the waivers, which made it possible to them to testify before the tribunal. At the same time, 398 persons have been tried in courts of the Republic of Serbia so far for criminal offences committed against international humanitarian law. Consequently, the Republic of Serbia showed not only a firm commitment to complying with its international obligations, including the punishment of those responsible for the commission of crimes irrespective of their ethnicity, but also to establish of the whole truth about the crimes committed during the armed conflicts in the territory of the former Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, convicted that in this way it contributes to establishing justice and the process of regional reconciliation. Mr. President, Excellencies, this meeting of the Security Council is being held 20 years after the establishment of the ICTY under United Nations Security Council Resolution 827 from 1993. The painful memories of the tragic events of the 90s still know at the sensitivities of many in the countries of our region. Yet, time and again, these countries have demonstrated their resolve to proceed along the road of good neighborhoodness, cooperation and reconciliation. Therefore, I have to point out that the initiative to enable the persons sentenced before the ICTY to serve their sentences in the countries that emerged in the territory of former Yugoslavia, whose nationals they are of great importance for the Republic of Serbia. The basic motivation of the initiative is the determination of my country to take over the responsibility for the service of prison sentences pronounced to its nationals by the Hague Tribunal. On a number of occasions, the Republic of Serbia has shown its readiness to accept its own nationals, as well as other willing persons tried by the ICTY to serve their sentences in Serbia. It is also ready to provide full security guarantees regarding the locations in which those sentences would be served. I would like to emphasize that on the 20th January 2011, the Republic of Serbia signed an agreement with the International Criminal Court on the enforcement of its sentences. Under the agreement, the persons sentenced before the court for the commission of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide may serve their sentences of imprisonment in the Republic of Serbia. I would also like to stress that Serbia is the first country of Eastern Europe that has signed such an agreement with the International Criminal Court. The only other countries that did so before Serbia are the United Kingdom, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, and Finland. Bearing in mind that the purpose of punishment includes also the resocialization of the sentenced persons, my country is of the opinion that this goal can hardly be achieved if these persons serve their sentences in the countries whose languages they do not speak or understand, whereby additional impediments and being created to their communication with the environment. Furthermore, it should not be forgotten that most of the countries in which the sentences are served are geographically far from Serbia, which makes family and relatives visits much more difficult and in some cases downright impossible. This is the main cause of complaints that the families of the persons serving their sentences address to the government of the Republic of Serbia. Let me point out also on this occasion that all the results of the years-long cooperation of my country with the tribunal indicate, writ large, the seriousness of the Republic of Serbia and its readiness to accept international supervision of the serving of sentences and to provide firm guarantees that the sentenced person will not be paroled without requested decisions of the ICTY, International Residual Mechanism, or some other organ or body of the United Nations to be charged with these issues in the future. Mr. President, Excellencies, the countries that emerged in the territory of the former Yugoslavia, including the Republic of Serbia, are not in the position to conclude agreements with the Tribunal on the enforcement of sentences, even though ICTY President Theodor Meron said in his report that the Tribunal has signed such agreements with 17 countries and emphasized that efforts should be continued to be made to sign new agreements in sufficient numbers to enable the mandate of the Tribunal to be completed successfully. Also, President Meron went on to say in his report that states that had concluded the agreements are praised in United Nations Security Council Resolution 1993 from 2011, and that those that had not concluded them are urged to do so. Since 2009, the Republic of Serbia has insisted on signing an agreement on the enforcement of sentences and is actively working on the initiative to have those sentences by the tribunal serve in their sentences in their own country. On many occasions, the highest-ranking Serbian officials addressed their calls to United Nations and ICTY officials, but regrettably, no breakthrough of any scope and significance has been made in this regard. The Republic of Serbia considers that the main reason for this stalemate is the fact that the recommendation of the Secretary General to the Security Council from May 1993 to the effect that the enforcement of sentences should take place outside the territory of the former Yugoslavia continues to be maintained. Yet, even if this position may have been considered justified in 1993, when winds of war ripped the former Yugoslavia, it is clear that it lost its validity a long time ago. Mr. President, Excellencies, the Republic of Serbia is a democratic country today. It demonstrated its commitment to and the capacity to comply with its international obligations, including the punishment of those responsible for crimes and the enforcement of sentences in accordance with European standards on numerous occasions. I want to point out that, as it has done in the past, the Republic of Serbia will continue to comply with its obligations, both in its cooperation with the ICTY and with the International Residual Mechanism, the ICTY branch, which is expected to begin its work on the 1st of July 2013. In conclusion, Mr. President, the Republic of Serbia would be grateful if the members of this august body should re-examine the recommendation given 20 years ago by the then Secretary General and allow Serbia to be placed on the list of countries that have indicated to the Security Council their willingness to accept convicted persons under full supervision of the Tribunal. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Serbia for his statement, and I now give the floor to the representative of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Thank you.